Oftentimes, when folks gather together for a Ren Fair in their fancy dress and shout huzzahs, they're met with comments like, but that's not historically accurate. And while they most certainly did not have card readers in the Middle Ages, the recreation of medieval jousting and tournaments is actually more historically relevant than you might think. Humans have a great tradition of recreating celebrations from the past, especially tales of knights, honor, and chivalry. So first and foremost, when were knights actually jousting? Around the 11th and 12th century, or the High Middle Ages in England and continental Europe, we were seeing lords hire knights for warfare. This was before it was commonplace to have professional standing armies and large-scale, long-range warfare beyond local land disputes. So knights would be hired in service of those times of need. And as part of training exercises to ensure that the knights were fit for mounted combat, they held a melee, or a tournament of various military exercises, like the joust. But after a while, folks started enjoying seeing these military spectacles. It became a good way to see the talent of the knights, for lords to recruit them, and even rarely for common folk to work their way up the ranks to become a knight. Over the course of the late Middle Ages, kings and lords would have tournaments for a variety of reasons, like showing off their immense wealth and military prowess, providing diplomatic opportunities to liaise with other territories, and giving some revelry to their people. This tradition continued well into the Renaissance. Henry VIII famously loved a tournament. The Field of Cloth and Gold in 1520 was held to celebrate England and France's recent and shortly lived friendship, and the event was so ornate that it earned that insane title. Tournaments were already a recreation of what they had previously been. Sometimes they even involved scripted performances where knights would take on personas from Arthurian legend, far from the tactical battle exercises of old. Weapons were changed to be safer, making jousting a sport designed to injure instead of kill. However, accidents still did happen. Henry VIII himself was irreparably injured from a tournament, and the French King Henry II died in 1559 after catching a spear to the eye. After this, we can see a brief break in history where the tournament fell out of favor for a little while, but even still, the trend of revisiting and reinventing the medieval world for contemporary purposes prevails. Medievalism was back in a big way in Victorian England, with popular literature like Lord Alfred Tennyson's Idylls of the King. The Victorians loved imagining what their freaky little ancestors got up to, and they had a great affinity for using these historic tales to justify whatever modern needs were, like colonization. They were also big fans of a costume party. Queen Victoria held a medieval costume ball in 1842, where she dressed as her own medieval ancestor, Queen Philippa of Hainault. The Earl of Eglinton held a tournament on his grounds in 1839, with jousting, parades, feasting, and lots of Victorian journalists complaining about ruining the historical accuracies of the festivities with umbrellas. So as you can see, the festivities we share today are a continuation of this very human tradition. So the next time someone dogs on you for wearing your silly little